You dudes, Oren here. We are going to do the first mock draft of the season, at least for me. And this will be the 1.0, and we're starting during the start of, I guess, week 5 of the NFL season. It's the day after the Chicago Bears defeated the Washington Commanders. I haven't erased it from my board yet when I went to bed early before Chicago scored their 40th point. And because I like the number 37, but that's the timeline where we're starting this. I feel like we have a little bit of enough information for where teams are, what they need, and then which college football players I guess are good right now. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna alternate every other week. So this week is going to be a 1 round all NFL teams draft, and then the other week will be a 7 round Detroit Lions mock draft. So without further, actually, my process is going to be some combination of best player available at a position of need with a heavy, strong emphasis on specific important positions such as quarterback, cornerback, edge rusher, wide receiver, and offensive tackle. So, and I'm also going to be referencing Dane Brugler's big board that he had from the start of the season, because he's, as far as people who do mock drafts go that are like work for professional organizations, Dane Brugler from The Athletic, which is owned by the New York Times, that's one of the more credible sources for me, which is what I like to rely on. And I don't know much about the draft prospects yet, nor do I know what teams really need right now. So I think I probably just watched one Broshmo video and one Hail Mary Sports video just to kind of get an idea of where we're at. So this is basically going to be me learning about these players, and I've already glanced through them, and there are some names in there that are very fun to say. So without further ado, let's begin the mock draft. I'm using profootballnetwork.com. I know the one with PFF is the universally most popular one, and I use that quite often too for information. But this is the one that kind of got me started, and I'm pretty much addicted to it by now. So and it gives me a good brief chunks and tidbits and all that. So let's go ahead and start here. So I'm not sure if they've updated it since then, but I guess Chicago still has the first and the second pick. So do we believe that they want to move on from Justin Fields for Caleb Williams? I'm going to say no for now. Stick with what you know. And then let's go with just checking the big board here. Yep, Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's go ahead and get him here. And then they have another choice. And then let's skip the quarterbacks for now. Olu Fashanu from Penn State, offensive tackle, and he's right there. So we get the two important positions, wide receiver and offensive tackle. And I know they drafted an offensive tackle last year, but they could get another one to replace whoever they have. Hopefully he's not somebody who's already really good. And well, it's the Bears, so I highly doubt that. But pair him next to Darnell Wright, and then that DJ Moore, and then Fields hopefully will be a little bit more dangerous there. And then the Vegas Raiders, they definitely need a quarterback. Well, it doesn't say they need a quarterback there, but you're really going to go with Jimmy Garoppolo. So let's go ahead and get the one player everyone's not talking about right now for them. Let's give them Caleb Williams. And then the Denver Broncos, they are stuck with Russell Wilson for better or for worse. They drafted a really good cornerback a few years ago. I think his name is J.C. Horn, or is that the Carolina Panthers guy? I can't remember, but Dallas Turner. Okay, Mims and Brock Bowers, a tight end. And here's a fun name to say, Kool-Aid McKinstry. That's got to be fun. But let's look at Mims or Bowers. If I can find him on here. But the Broncos already have Greg Dulcich, don't they? So, Marius Mims. And then who was the other one? Brock Bowers, tight end. Let's go with Mims for the Broncos here. Because you got Sean Payton, who's offensive minded. So he'll probably want some pieces on offense to help there. So Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins is going to be a free agent. So you could definitely see them moving on for a new quarterback to hopefully develop. Let's go with the quarterback from North Carolina here for them. And then the New York Jets, they don't have Aaron Rodgers for this current year. They might have him back for next year, but they are stuck with Zach Wilson. Do you get a third quarterback to get into the mix to, get things going there? Or do you look at another position of need? What are their needs based on this? Offensive tackle, center. Well, yeah, okay, the Jets need O-line help for sure. So, because whoever they have now is not getting it done. So, who do we have here? Taken. I don't know who they have for tight end. Brock Bowers, maybe. Jared Verse, edge. Turner, edge. JC Latham. Next best available offensive lineman. Let's go with that for the Jets. Give them a little bit more help for their O-line. And then you got the Patriots at 7. Wow, I'm not used to seeing them drafting this high in a while. Maybe they go ahead and draft a quarterback as well. Ooh, JJ McCarthy, he's going to be in this draft. I almost forgot about that. Who are some of the next best available players? Brock Bowers, tight end. Possibly. Maybe the next the tight end that used to play with Tom Brady. I forgot about him because everybody's talking about Travis Kelce now. There he is, Brock Bowers. Let's get Brock Bowers to the Patriots. And then number 8, the Bengals, who are surprisingly really struggling this year. In Joe Burrow's dealt with injuries from time to time, and their offensive line is still subpar, right? Maybe not. There's Joe Alt. Maybe it's time they invest in their offensive line here. Is Joe Alt the next? Wow, Dane Brugler doesn't have Joe Alt ranked high here, so JC Latham. I just picked him though, didn't I? Yes. Who's the next best offensive lineman on here? Joe Alt. Yeah, let's go with Joe Alt here. Joe Alt, you go bye-bye. And then number 9, the Cardinals. Oh man. They have proven to be a chippy team, but still they're still one of the worst teams, but and they have that goofy coach guy who's quite quotable and awkward, Who would somebody like him want? He was what, a defensive coordinator, so he'll want something for defense, I would imagine. Maybe an edge rusher. Or a corner. I think it's time we take Kool-Aid McKinstry off the board here. What do you say about that? Well, maybe Dallas Turner. Nope, he's not ranked higher, so. Kool-Aid McKinstry, you go to the Cardinals. And we have the New York Giants here. Wow, another team that desperately needs offensive line help. How many sacks did Daniel Jones get? So never should have extended that guy. Just saying. Well, they also need wide receivers too. It always seems like they need wide receivers, so you can always go that route there too. Well, who else is there for wide receivers? Emeka Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka. Another Ohio State wide receiver. I feel like certain college football teams have certain identities with which type of position they tend to develop elite players. So, like, I guess Iowa tight ends, Penn State linebackers, and Ohio State must be wide receivers. So let's go with Emeka Egbuka here for the Giants. The Green Bay Packers. I already know what their top need is. Screw the most important positions. They need a safety. And who is the highest ranking safety according to Dane Brugler? Bear with me here. And we all know that no matter what, the Green Bay Packers tend to draft defense in the first round. So Cameron Kitchens. Almost sounds like Kitchen. So Cameron Kitchens, safety from Miami. There he is. And the Packers are done. Now the Saints. Saints are one of those teams I don't really know that much about. So according to this, they need offensive tackle, defensive tackle, offensive guard, linebacker, and running back. Seems like they drafted defensive tackle last year when they got Bryan Bresee. Let's try to find an O lineman for them. I know a lot of them are already taken. Dallas Turner's still there. Jared Verse is still there. I think I'll give them Jared Verse. And we are back with the Cardinals at 13. Who did they get earlier? Kool-Aid McKinstry. Maybe they go ahead and get somebody for the edge now. That might still be available there. Dallas Turner, is he still available? Yep, he's right there, number 9. So Arizona gets a decent haul there. Not San Diego Chargers, the LA Chargers. You really seem like you've invested in your offense like the last several years. You got Justin Herbert, you got that offensive lineman that's pretty quick. I already figured out his name, but he was the only other good one besides Penei Sewell. And then you got another lineman, I think, a year later, and then you got that wide receiver. And I'm drawing a blank on all the names of their people. So what would they need? Safety, cornerback, offensive tackle, offensive center, defensive tackle. Who's the best player available on this board? I think all these guys are taken, so Where's Caleb King? Let's give them a cornerback, I guess. Caleb King from Penn State. Penn State's going to have a lot of high players coming out this year. Maybe this is Penn State's year. Who knows? It'd be good for them to make some noise, I guess. And then Houston Texans, what do you do now? You drafted Will Anderson last year as well as CJ Stroud. And then before that, you got Derek Stingley Jr. for cornerback. It's like, what other high priority positions could you target? Maybe offensive tackle or wide receiver? How about let's look at wide receiver. Malik Neighbors from LSU. Interesting. Or Nabers. Malik Nabers. I wanted to say neighbor there at first. Let's give them that guy. Give CJ Stroud a weapon to throw to. And then the Washington Commanders. They always like to tend to draft people projected in the second round and the first round to get ahead of them there. Debatable strategy there, but I just watched them yesterday. What do I feel like that they need? They're good on wide receivers, and I'm pretty sure Sam Howell is going to be a good quarterback, as I always like to say. I think I'll give them some offensive line help. Who's the next highest ranking offensive lineman? Did I do JC Latham already? Yeah, a while ago. Joe Alt. Yes, he's gone already too. Patrick Paul from Houston. Let's see if I can find him. There he is. Lower ranking on here, but Dane Brugler seems to think he's good, so we'll give him that one. And then Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars seem like, I guess on paper, they could be a complete team. Maybe they can give some help to pair edge rusher to pair along with the guy they took instead of Aiden Hutchinson. Let's look at that route. And they doubled up on linebacker a couple of years ago. I remember that because they got Devin Lloyd and then Chad Muma. So we're good there. I'm going to look at top ranking edge rusher for them. Jared Verse, I think I already got. Braylon Trice from Washington, maybe. Dallas Turner, I got. JT Tuimoloau from Ohio State. Tuimoloau. Is he even on here? Yep, here he is. So we'll give that one to Jacksonville. Give them some extra help there because the edge rusher they drafted a couple years ago isn't making the headlines as much as I'd like to think. So who knows? Oh my gosh. It's the LA Rams. They have a first round draft pick. Thanks to yours truly, the Detroit Lions, with the famous Matthew Stafford trade. They've been up. We've had their picks for the last 2 years, but now the trade is complete, and the Rams are back in the first round. What could they possibly want or need? Offensive tackle, edge, offensive guard, cornerback, offensive center. They seem like they could use everything, but I'm thinking more importantly, because they'll be fine on wide receivers once they get healthy, but I think their offensive line, they could probably use a little bit of help. Maybe cornerback too. Um, let's take a look at a couple of these cornerbacks because they traded that one guy to the Miami who's now injured. So Kalen King or Nate Wiggins. All right, Nate Wiggins, because the other guy's already gone. So let's give them Nate Wiggins. Atlanta Falcons, number 19. They is Desmond Ridder the answer? Signs are pointing toward no. So, uh, so I think we're going to have to go quarterback for them, and I believe the next best quarterback on this list, someone who I am relatively familiar with. As soon as I find him here. And this is honestly what I thought the Detroit Lions plan would be this entire time for when the NFL draft is in Detroit. And then they draft a Michigan quarterback. And then it's a very, what's the word? Vanity of special Detroit night type of stuff going on with the Michigan quarterback being drafted, kind of like when Aiden Hutchinson was drafted, only if the NFL draft was in Detroit. So I thought that the plan was to get JJ McCarthy to the Detroit Lions. But yeah, there's no way the Lions are gonna, because they already drafted Hendon Hooker and as a contingent backup plan if Jared Goff isn't good. So, but JJ McCarthy, uh, I think Atlanta Falcons, yeah. And then who would replace Desmond Ridder there, I suppose. Indianapolis Colts at number 20. What do they need? Running back, cornerback, offensive guard, offensive tackle? Are you guys sure you don't need wide receiver? Are you sure? Because I kind of want to get you a wide receiver especially for Anthony Richardson. Oh, you need edge rusher. Is Kwity Paye not working out for you guys? All right, fine. We'll look at edge and corner. Oh. Is this guy off the board yet? Another good name, a fun name to say. Chop Robinson, edge rusher from Penn State. There he is. Let's go ahead and get him here for the Colts. Pair him up with Kwity Paye. And here we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett not doing so well this year, but you can blame offensive coordinator Matt Canada or whatever you want to do. But I think the offense needs to continue to improve here. What do they need? Offensive tackle, offensive center, cornerback, defensive tackle. Let's look for another offensive lineman for them, because all the good quarterbacks I think are taken at this point. Well, there's Bo Nix, so maybe him. But let's go O-line. Joe Alt. I think I already got him a while ago. And receiver. Linebacker Patrick Paul from Houston. I think I already drafted him at some point too. Maybe not. Yep, I already did for him. And it's cornerback, defensive tackle, tight end, safety, quarterback, linebacker. Running out of offensive linemen quick here. So Tyler Guyton. Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma. That's the next best one. So let's find him. There he is. We're going to Pittsburgh, my friend. Tennessee Titans, what the heck are they doing? They have both Malik Willis and then Mr. Mayo and Coffee Guy. Drawing a blank on that quarterback's name, but they also have Derrick Henry for now, and then I guess the Auburn wide receiver that drafted a little while ago is still developing. So, and they got drafted another offensive lineman last year too. So, I think they have a lot of good offensive pieces. Maybe we focus on defense for them. Let's look at edge rusher, see who the next best edge rusher is available. How about this guy, Leteru Layatu Latu. Latu. Dang it. Some of these names are also very hard to pronounce, which is all part of the fun. Did I already draft him? No, here he is, right here, UCLA. So let's give him that guy. And we have arrived to the Wicked Witch of the Pacific Northwest, the Seattle Seahawks. What could you possibly need except another Devin Witherspoon? Tight end is a need for them. Maybe linebacker or safety or offensive guard. They don't need quarterback, do they? Unless they want to move on from Geno Smith early and develop this guy. But I don't see that happening. You know, I thought I saw another tight end on here somewhere. Let's go ahead and give them that. Give Geno Smith another weapon. Jatavion Sanders. Let's find him from Texas. There you are. And we have arrived to the great American team, the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones team. What would you be targeting? Because you seem like you have a complete team right now. Maybe just another lineman. Maybe a cornerback because Lamb is out. Is it Lamb, that guy's name? No, I don't know. I don't remember right now. Team needs offensive tackle, offensive guard, cornerback, linebacker, defensive tackle. I think I'll probably prioritize cornerback. Let's go with this Josh Newton guy from TCU. I just remember a couple of years ago they wanted a cornerback, but they all got drafted in front of them, so they had to trade down, and as a result, they drafted Micah Parsons. So I just remember that, and I haven't heard about them getting a cornerback since then. They probably did, and I just missed it. I didn't draft Newton already, did I? No, where is Newton? Don't tell me he's a safety. Okay, there he is. He's just ranked really low on PFN's thing for the moment. So we'll go ahead and get them there. And that was right in front of the Detroit Lions, whom for this team, I intended for them in the first round to get a cornerback also because um, if you think about it, the only cornerback the Lions have signed beyond this past season and long term is Cam Sutton because Emmanuel Mosley is on a 1 year deal. Who knows if he'll come back? And then Brian Branch is probably going to move to safety permanently once CJ Gardner Johnson's contract is up and he's gone, and his injury took him out for the year. So, and I believe they would have drafted Witherspoon had he been available for them if it weren't for the Wicked Witch of the Pacific Northwest snagging him. And then I think I heard Newton would have been a good fit for the Lions here. So let's try to find the next best cornerback after him. They could go wide receiver too. Maybe get somebody wide. So Jamison Williams would be there, and then I'm on St. Brown in those slots, and then you could get a third like X or Y, like somebody big bodied. Looking up here in case I missed a wide receiver. I don't think I did. That guy was already drafted. But I prefer like a contested catch, big bodied type of wide receiver for them. That way, they don't have to sign like a DJ Chark or Marvin Jones Jr. for that role for a brief period of time. Keon Coleman, what kind is he? 6'4", 216, a good start size wise, despite volatility at quarterback and at the front of the offensive line. Coleman thrived as a true sophomore in 2022. He racked up 58 catches, 78 yards, and 7 touchdowns alongside Jalen Reed. So he was a former Spartan. Interesting. Leveraged that second year production into a transfer opportunity and Ian coming. So not much information there. So that would be my wide receiver choice, but let's look at cornerback real quick. They could probably use an offensive guard there, so I'll keep an eye out for that. Zach Zinter and Cooper Bebe. Cooper Bebe. I've heard that name before. I can't remember where. Kellyanne Carson. Let's see about him. Okay, nothing interesting about him there, but you know what? Knowing the Lions, I like to think they prioritize their offense, more of an offensive minded team, although they will improve the defense whenever they get the chance to. So I think I'll go with Keon Coleman here. And the Miami Dolphins, what could you possibly need at this point? You seem like you have everything for offense. What are your needs? Offensive tackle, offensive guard, cornerback, safety, defensive tackle. Amari Lassiter, did I draft you yet? And how did I miss you? There you are. I'll go ahead and give you to the Dolphins. Let's just say the Lions weren't interested, I guess. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What could you possibly want? Quarterback, offensive tackle, offensive guard, offensive center. So basically any offensive lineman that's available. I thought maybe quarterback if Baker Mayfield doesn't work out, but he's been playing really good so far. You know, someone to develop while Baker Mayfield continues to play for them. Yeah, high demand for offensive linemen for sure. How about let's go with Tyler Guyton, Kyler Guyton from Oklahoma if he's there. Did I already draft him? Oh, yep, I did. All right, let's move on from him. Kingsley Suamataia from BYU. And he's available, so let's give the Bucks that guy. And then Buffalo Bills are next. What could you possibly need? You seem like another all-around complete team, especially on defense. Cornerback, safety, offensive tackle, wide receiver, and linebacker. Kind of makes me want to go linebacker for you guys because that superstar linebacker for you guys keeps getting injured. Nothing up here. Nope. Let's go with Smail Mondun Jr. Smail Mondun Jr. That one's kind of fun to say. I think. Boom from Georgia. Baltimore Ravens. Who do they draft? Anybody who can stay healthy. But cornerback, offensive tackle, offensive guard, defensive tackle, wide receiver. Kind of want to go another O lineman here. But it just feels like we're running out. Jordan Morgan from Arizona. There you are. Let's go ahead and give you them there. And then San Francisco 49ers. What could you possibly want? You seem like you have everything. And by the way, why are the Chiefs at 31? You'd think the Eagles would have the. Oh, wait, unless they acquire the Eagles pick in a trade somehow, which I suppose is possible. I'll think about that later. 49ers, what do you need? Offensive tackle, cornerback, offensive guard, edge, OC. Let's look for an offensive guard for you guys. I think I heard Roshmo or somebody say that was a need for you guys. I know I saw Cooper Bebe's name on this Dane Brugler list somewhere. So, yep, there he is, guard. Let's go ahead and do that for you guys. Cooper Bebe. And then last but not least, the Kansas City Chiefs. For you guys, I'm thinking a wide receiver who can catch the ball because the game against the Lions is still fresh in my memory. It's thinking of Kadarius Toney. So let's find a wide receiver. Hopefully they can catch the ball. Rome Odunze from Washington. Is he available? He is. Let's go ahead and get that one for you guys. And looks like we are done. Or wait. Okay, the Philadelphia Eagles are on here, but it's not showing it on here. But so we're not done. So we have one more to go. The Eagles seem like another team that's a complete team, but for them, I'm thinking cornerback because who knows what Darius Slay when his time is going to be up, even though he just signed an extension. How about this Kayleen Carson from Wake Forest? There you are. And looks like we are done there. So that was my mock draft, kind of an intro to some of the names we might see, and some players that might be interesting. A couple of fun sounding names, and it's very early, but it's never too early to start. As far as I can tell, it's probably going to be very heavy on the offensive line and some quarterbacks at the top. So yeah, let's continue to monitor it and get ourselves warmed up so that when the NFL draft comes around next year, then we'll be ready. So until then, go Lions, one pride.